Treat yourself to a little something organic. Cora's whisper-thin yet mighty absorbent pads have a breathable 100% organic cotton top sheet and are made without fragrance, dyes, and chlorine. 'Cause your vulva's not a hot tub. With patented smart channels for up to 8 hours of leak protection, Cora's got you covered however you flow. Plus, Cora donates period products to people in need with every purchase. Find Cora nationwide at Target, CVS, and online at cora.life.
Hola gente de Cine con Acento, ¿cómo están? Habla Juan Carlos Lemus desde Cannes y estoy hoy entrevistando al director de Inshallah a Boy, la primera película jordana que se presenta en esta gran carpa. Les pido perdón de antemano por el sonido, porque fue grabado al aire libre y bueno, se nos colaron bastantes sonidos exteriores. También les pido el favor que nos comenten y nos compartan. Estamos en diferentes plataformas de voz como Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Evox y Spotify y que nos encuentran en la web y en las redes sociales como Con Acento Podcast. Muchas gracias.
It's your producer
yeah.
in Cairo Connection.
Oh.
Remember now?
Very bad. I have like...
We talked and I wrote about your movie too.
Okay,
so that time it was in development. You also won a grant in
yes.
Cairo these 2 days. And so how did your writing change after that? Because it has been 5 years.
Well, I want to tell you that it changed. It developed, definitely, in a good way. But the core of the story stayed as it is. The story of this woman and her struggle and how it ends, all of these elements stayed because we was following a clear log line or clear image. I had it all, but with developing, you change this in the character, you work on this scene, so yeah.
Thank you very much for your film. I think it's amazing for us, like white people living in Jordan, let's say it like that, to help us to understand the way that you deal with this kind of situation, like a divorce or when something happened with the male, because it's a society built through male. So how a male catch this thing that maybe something could change in the way that you deal with these situations in your society.
I'm not sure I understood how.
Well, the thing is, for example, the woman now is a widow, and their things as a couple now is go through the family of her husband, but. And it's like that because it's the way that your society deal with that.
Yes, it is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, how you a male? Because you see these two characters, like the brother-in-law and her brother. It's like why they didn't catch what happened with her because it's like that. Always.
It's like that. This is the norm.
Exactly. Yeah. So how you a male now are thinking that maybe something can change?
Well, I believe that until we have equality between male and woman, and minorities in our societies, and until we separate the religion from the state, we will not develop. This is how I see things. This is what I believe in. And to be ruled by a male-dominant society that is backed up with laws that was created a long time ago. But in both religions, I'm not saying about a specific religion. It's just like stopping us as Jordanians and as Arabs and as a society from developing and moving forward with our countries, with our culture, as if we are living in Middle Ages and in 2023. So it's absurd for me. It was like especially when I started doing the research while I was writing the film. It's just really absurd stories. You listen to stuff that. And you hear and you watch a woman suffering from these laws, and this can't be a healthy society.
This is also a story of your own family. So, when did you actually start thinking about, because this is your first feature?
Well, I was raised in a family that is full of women. I was surrounded by my aunts, my cousins, female cousins, and I used to listen to their stories since a young age. And most of them are not nice stories about their male figures in their lives. And these stories stayed in my mind. And one of my closest relatives, a few years ago, it was in the same situation almost like Nawal. And there the idea came to me with the question, what if she says no? And what are her options? And this is how I found the whole story with these questions.
There is I feel like hope in your film at the end. I mean, she can do something, and plus her daughter is watching her, so is learning.
Yes.
So it is.
It is definitely. I wanted to end the film with a tone of hope. And definitely Nawal wanted to be the model for her daughter, and she wants her to be a fighter as her, and she wants to show her that she can lead her life. And I believe this is very important, that we start with the new generation, and we start with education to change what has been normalized for us since hundreds of years, and we start to reassess these things, reassess these behaviors and ideologies, and how we treat each other as human beings, and how we treat women specifically.
What kind of support did you get from Jordan within the civil society, within the film industry, among your colleagues? And
well, the biggest support was from the Royal Film Commission. We got Jordan Film Fund for production and post-production. We also got the Red Sea Film Fund, Doha Film Institute Fund, production fund. We got also the CNC, Cinéma du Monde from France, and we got supported by Cairo Film Festival, Amman Film Festival, and lately Venice Final Cut and Atlas Workshop. So yeah, it's many supporters, many funders. And when the film was announced that it will participate in Cannes, the whole industry in Jordan, they celebrated
like a World Cup.
Yeah,
like a World Cup.
Exactly. And I'm so happy because everybody in Amman, in the film industry in Jordan, they feel that they're part of this achievement, and it's true. Like even if they were not in the crew, but because we are a small community. We're not a big industry. We're still a very young industry, film industry in Jordan. But we all know each other. So it was nice to feel the support coming from them.
Is maybe you have to answer many times this question, but because it's your first time here,
yes,
and it's the first time ever a Jordan film in Cannes, I have to ask, how do you feel about it? I mean, obviously, excited and blah, 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 but a little bit more deeper feelings?
Definitely, it's crazy, to be honest. And to be able to do this, it was a long journey, but it's worth it. Yes, I'm so happy, but I feel that there is a big pressure on me because there is expectations, of course, and it's Cannes. It's the biggest festival on the planet. So I'm presenting my first feature film here, and I'm thinking of the next. I want the next to be even better. So it adds, it comes with responsibility and it adds pressure.
It's a challenging job as an artist. It's a challenging job to criticize, conventions. So how are people in Jordan taking it?
Well, because there are not a lot of films.
Excuse me, can I add something to how your family about women around you? You told us.
Well, you can't. Like my mother, my aunts, they are super happy and super supportive. Since the beginning, since I had this idea of I want to be a director, which was since a super young age, I'm telling you, maybe 12 years old. They are very supportive and they are super happy. They still did not watch the movie, but I'm sure I will have a lot of support from them. They're my family. About the Jordanian people, audience, I want to describe them as a sensitive audience. They are a tough audience. And because there are not a lot of films coming out of Jordan, so people are not used to see themselves on a big screen. They're not ready to, to face the reality or the truth or different point of views. It's my point of view of the reality. Maybe someone else has another point of view, but there is a famous saying after any film or any Jordanian. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Any Jordanian film that coming out, which are not a lot, that I think that this film does not represent Jordan or does not represent our culture. We still lack the understanding of cinema and what is art and why, as an artist, I need to express what I think. It's not an advertisement for Jordan, or it's not that people will hate or love the country because of the film. It's just like we need to. There's not big exposure, and they're super sensitive about it.
I have to add that it doesn't matter how old is your industry, it's always the same thing. I mean, even in Italy, they say, why you have these films about mafia or whatever? Oh. And because we know that Italy is more than mafia, but we love films about Italy mafia. I mean,
you remind me of The Offer. Did you watch The Offer?
Yeah.
Like the mafia in New York, they were like, but this is off the record, but it reminded me of the Jordanian people. Like, they are so sensitive and they are afraid of portraying them. And it was...
Well, I mean, as a foreigner living in Amman, I think that your film is, I have in the same page as your film, is hope in terms of same thing? I mean, that they can allow very soon to see them in films, and plus to change little by little your society. I mean, the women now are much more free than their mothers, for sure.
Yeah, the generation of my mother, for example, they were much more open-minded and much more cultured, and I see this through their pictures or their old videos. Or to be honest, yes, of course, the generation of my mother, they were more open-minded than what we have now. I hope that we will become again more open-minded, accepting the other and understanding that there are different point of views in life. And but I feel like at this moment what we really need is to think more as Jordanians and as Arabs and the whole world. I think it's a critical moment to raise questions and think and reassess what has been normalized for us since long time, and to understand where we're going by opening a conversation, at least.
In Jordan, it is easier, to climb Mount Everest. In Jordan, it's easier for a man to climb the Mount Everest because, the support.
I think it's a considered mountain.
The idea is like it's easy for male to do something very heavy or achieve.
Okay.
A man was supported by the Jordan government to go and climb the Mount Everest.
Yes.
So I was asking you how difficult it was for you to pursue your dream, because you mentioned that you wanted to become a filmmaker at the age of 12.
Now reflecting back on Inshallah Walad development phase and financing the film, I think this is the right cycle for a first feature film, a debut feature film, because it's an independent movie, and I feel it takes that time to be able to do it, because you need to convince a lot of people to put the money in, and you go to different workshops to pitch the project. So it's just the right amount. I know it's a long time. I wish that it was frustrating me doing while I was in it. But now reflecting back on it and seeing other filmmakers trying to do their films, like some they do it in 10 years, some do it in 8 years. I think 4 to 6 years is the time to do it.
I want to ask you about the idea of money in your film. I mean, you said that the society have to change, but in your film you see the trouble is through the money also. It's moral and it's economic.
Yes.
So what do you think about the way that Jordan is facing this?
Well, as the rest of the world, we're suffering definitely, and we are in a tough time economically. The situation is affecting everyone, and that's why someone like Rifqi, the brother-in-law, you understand his needs. He's also a victim, and this is that was very important for me to portray it in the film, that all the characters are in a gray zone. Each one has their own needs, and they need to survive. At the end of the day, he has kids. He needs to put food on the table, and he found this chance to guarantee a better life for them.
And he's under the law.
And he's not stealing from her. He's just following the laws. And there is a moral question. Even if you have the law behind you, would you do it or would you not?
What about what happens now after Cannes? When will be the release in the Arab world?
We definitely have to do an Arab premiere with.
Where?
Still not confirmed yet, so I can't tell.
And theatrical release in Jordan?
Theatrical release, it will be next year, I think, but it's all with our distributors, Pyramid and Mad Solutions, and the producers. So we still don't have like specific time.
Quickly, one personal thing, like how is your family, like your parents, and do you have sisters?
Yes, I have a big sister, 10 years older than me.
What does she do?
She is in a banking sector. She's a big shot.
She's a double.
And your parents?
And my parents, and I have a bigger brother, 4 years bigger than me. He's a lawyer. My father is a lawyer. My mother is a pharmacist.
And you're the youngest?
I'm the youngest. I'm 38 years old.
30 years old. And where do you live? Where you are based?
I'm in Amman.
Born in Amman?
Born and lived in Amman, yeah.
More personal, sorry. Palestinian or Jordan?
I'm half. My father is Jordanian. My mother is Palestinian, from Palestinian origins, but she's Jordanian.
And are you self-trained, or you went to film school?
I went to film school. I graduated in 2010. I did the Masters of Fine Arts in Cinematic Arts from Red Sea Institute of Cinematic Arts
In Amman?
In Aqaba. In Aqaba. It does not exist anymore. It was established by the Royal Film Commission and the USC to give a Masters of Fine Arts for in the Middle East, an institute that gives this a degree in the Middle East, and unfortunately they couldn't sustain.
You said about the guy, so the moral question about if he's doing something, even is legal, what's happened with the morality. But the point is, that is the biggest one for me, because if her daughters goes to him, she returns to his brother, because it's like that, or as far as I understand, as a foreigner in Amman, she goes to his brother and the daughter. So it's like no money on the table because she's under protection. So
but for her brother-in-law, it was. But this is very interesting in the male character in the Middle East, that sometimes we understand that honor is related to a woman's body, a specific part.
Exactly.
Woman. So he wants to protect his honor, even though he doesn't have food to provide or a good place to provide. But what's more important is the idea of honor, which is also absurd for me, because honor in Japan, for example, is to do your job well.
So let's say something in Christianity world, in Spain, in Germany, just at the end of 70s is a law that it's not, you are not allowed as a male to kill a woman because your honor. It was a law. I mean, we were.
Yeah.
So we are not that far in terms of humanity. It's just around the corner.
Around the corner.
And now, last year, I think, or this year in Amman or in Jordan, it's illegal to kill a woman because of honor.
Yes.
So,
but last year there were many victims of that, and you know that it's horrible stories, and it's really painful.
How do you actually, handle your own sensitivities when you are actually questioning, problems within your own society, but at the same time, your society is also being pushed from outside from the West, and so how do you handle this? Both sides.
Well, I don't talk politics. I prefer not to talk about politics, to be honest.
Politics is just human. dilemma.
Yeah, it is. It is, but I will go to politics, and I prefer no, because I need to go back to my country.
Okay, tell us about what are you writing next?
It's still in early stages of development. I'm exploring same themes. I'm still not done with this theme. Of course, it's different story, but I'm exploring how woman can control her body and do we really accept the other? So I'm exploring these two themes in a new script now.
Really? What was the second one?
Accepting. It's about accepting each other. Yeah.
There is a scene in the film when a Catholic woman talk with the protagonist, and they were talking about morality. No, is a sin or not? Yeah, always is a sin. But the sin is it's like you need something to do a sin in terms of morality or religion morality. And she was confronted. So
we're talking about which scene? Sorry.
She said she needs.
Who is she? Which character?
The Catholic woman.
The mother of Lauren.
The Catholic woman who was living with her mother.
Lauren's mother, Saad.
Saad.
Yeah.
So and she said, "Is this a sin?" Sorry, the protagonist said, "This is a sin, abortion."
It's a sin.
It's a sin.
Yeah.
And she said, yes, but the thing that you ask me is a sin also. This is a lie.
Yeah.
So
it's the scene between the two
of them.
Yeah, two of them. Yeah. So what's the question?
The question is about morality and the way that the woman, because it's
our perspective. What's right? What's wrong? It's our perspective. Because she told her also to live in the street with your daughter is a sin. I see it a bigger sin than all other sins, and maybe God will say it that way. So again, religion is how we see it, how we understand it, and it's very personal. It shouldn't be something all over. It fits you, it doesn't fit me, and we should accept that.
And how long did it take for the shoots and all? And where did you shoot?
We shot in Amman for 5 weeks.
Which neighborhood or anything?
We shot between West Amman and East Amman. West
Over
Amman.
how long?
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks of shooting.
Yeah. And were there any mentorship labs or anything for music or something you went to after that editing?
We were in Venice last year at Final Cut Venice, and we got the 4 awards. One of them the main award of Venice Final Cut. We went to Atlas Workshop at Marrakesh Film Festival, and we got the Grand Prix. And we went again to Cairo Film Festival, and we got 2 post-production awards. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
So
thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I mean, because I met him in.
Y para los que llegaron hasta acá, hasta el final de este episodio, les recuerdo que nos pueden encontrar en diferentes redes sociales para que nos sigan en Twitter y en Instagram con acento podcast, y que estamos en diferentes plataformas de voz para que nos compartan y también nos comenten con acento podcast en Spotify, Apple Podcast, Evox y Google Podcast. Muchas gracias. Chao.